At the time, I was working 3 part-time jobs, barely paying for rent and food each month. But the more I worked, the more I realized I was trading time for money, and if I stopped working, the income would disappear. I was tired. I wanted something that would help me make money without always racing against the clock. One day, after watching a YouTube video on how compound interest works, it hit me. The idea of money making money had never really hit me until I saw it on a chart. Someone who started investing $100 a month at age 22 could have over $300,000 by the time they retired, just from compound interest. I thought, I don't have $100 a month, but I have $100 right now. If I don't start, I probably won't ever start. I tried a few things to make money fast: dropshipping, crypto, following the trend, even joining investment signal groups, and ended up losing more than I gained. One time, I bought a token on the advice of a famous influencer, and the next morning it evaporated by 80%. Not only did I lose money, I also lost faith in myself. Those failures made me realize there are no shortcuts in investing. There is no one-click get rich. If I want to build a solid financial foundation, I need to learn, understand, and do it slowly but surely. I don't invest because I want to be rich. I invest because I'm afraid of being poor all my life. I looked at my parents. They worked hard all their lives, but when they retired, they still had to worry about every penny. I looked at my friends who were richer, not because they were smarter, but because they had the habit of investing early. I didn't want to continue running around in circles to make a living. I wanted to build a financial foundation to have the freedom to choose, and then I found the concept of long-term investing, investing for the long term, patiently, not needing to be extremely smart, just disciplined. The day I deposited my first $100 into an online investment account, Robinhood, which had 0 trading fees at the time, my hands were shaking. I wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to lose everything. But I knew one thing: if I didn't start, I would never learn. I bought my first stock, a penny stock, maybe not the smartest choice, but my first stock. I felt like I had just entered a new world. Right after I bought my first stock with $100, an undervalued tech company, I felt great. I checked my account every hour. When the stock went up $2, I was thrilled. When it went down $3, I worried all night. I stopped being an investor and became a chart-watching junkie, and then it happened. When I read a Reddit comment about a stock that will triple in the next month, I jumped in like a moth to a flame. I sold my old stock, scraped together some money from my savings account, and went all in. The result? Within 5 days, the stock was down 35%. I panicked, sold, and lost nearly $70, more than 60% of my initial investment. I felt stupid. I thought I understood the market, but in reality, I was nothing more than gambling. That's when I understood something important. Investing isn't just about picking the right stocks, it's about learning how to manage your emotions. I realized I bought because of FOMO, fear of missing out. I sold because of fear. I didn't have a strategy, and if I kept going like that, that first $100 was just the beginning of a series of bigger failures. I decided not to add more money. Instead, I added knowledge. I read books: The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I watched videos, read blogs, and observed successful people. What they had in common was not superintelligence, but rather discipline, patience, and long-term thinking. I began to understand that investing is not about who is faster but about who survives longer. After 3 months of research, I went back into the market, this time with $50. I invested in an ETF that tracked the SP 500, an index fund that represents the 500 largest companies in the US. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't moon. But it was safe, stable, and reflected the real economy. I also started using a paper trading app to practice picking stocks, understand how to read financial statements, and learn how to analyze simple charts. I no longer invested to try my luck, I invested because I understood why I chose the company. In the first 6 months, I lost about $150 due to bad decisions. But in return, I learned lessons that school never taught me. 1. Don't chase hot news. The market will react before you know it. 2. Don't invest in something you don't understand. If you can't explain what a company does in 2 sentences, you shouldn't invest in it. 3. Investing won't make you rich quick, but it will make you rich for sure. 4. Losses are part of the journey. What matters is what you learn from each loss. After a year, I went from playing stocks to investing as a habit. I set up an automatic investment of $50 a month in ETFs, and a small portion in stocks I knew well. I checked my portfolio once a month, no more staring at charts every hour. The most important thing I realized was not the returns, it was this: I was taking control of my financial future. After a year of losing, learning, trying again, what I realized is, the market doesn't need you to be smart, it needs you to be consistent. I no longer want to waste time guessing which stocks will rise tomorrow, which news will cause volatility. I need a system that will help me keep my money, grow steadily, don't get caught up in emotions, and I found that in a simple but effective investment method: passive index investing and reasonable capital allocation. Currently, I invest $300 to $500 a month, divided into the following proportions: small blue diamond 70%, long-term index ETF, passive. I choose Vanguard SP 500 ETF, though, because it tracks the top 500 US companies. Low management fees, stable returns of 8 to 10% year on average, small blue diamond 20%, single stocks, active. I only choose companies I understand deeply: Apple, Google, or Costco. I look at their financial statements, business models, and long-term strategies. Small blue diamond 10%, REIT, real estate. I want passive income from dividends. I choose VNQ, a fund that invests in commercial real estate, paying regular quarterly dividends. 1. No peaks, no bottoms. I buy according to a plan, not chasing the market. Whether the price goes up or down, I still invest on the right day every month. 2. No emotions. I don't buy stocks because I hear rumors or TikTok says this is a potential code. I only buy what I understand or a diversified ETF. 3. No checking accounts every day. I only review performance every quarter. I live, work, and let the market do its job. 1. No peaks, no bottoms. Small blue diamond investing apps. I use Fidelity because there are no ETF transaction fees, automated recurring investments, easy to use interface, small blue diamond tracking tools. I use Google Sheets to record each purchase price, percent gain/loss. I create a net worth tracker to see how my assets grow over time. Small blue diamond learning tools, podcasts, Bigger Pockets Money, The Ramsey Show, Invest Like the Best, YouTube channels, Andre Jick, Mark Tilbury, The Plain Bagel. I'm not aiming to become a millionaire in 3 years. My goal is, achieve financial freedom in 10 to 15 years. Let's say I invest $500 a month consistently at 8% compounded interest. After 10 years, $91,000. After 15 years, $176,000. After 20 years, $295,000. And that's not counting raises, bonuses, or additional investments. What I'm after is not a get-rich-quick, it's a system for lasting wealth. Easy to follow, anyone can start with a small amount of money, low risk, ETFs are diversified, no need to pick the right stocks, low time commitment, no need to sit and watch the market, focus on habits, not financial intelligence. Do you know what keeps me investing, even when the market is on fire? It's not because I like money, it's because I hate feeling dependent. I don't want to be 40 and still have to bow my head and ask for a vacation. I don't want to be 60 and start living my life. I don't want to be dependent on my children or a meager pension when I'm old. I want freedom. I want the right to choose the job I want, live where I want, and help my family when they need it, without worrying about money. And I know, to do that, I have to invest. Throughout this journey, I learned 5 things that are more important than any chart or strategy. 1. Start small rather than not start at all. The first $100 didn't make me rich, but it changed the way I look at money. 2. Discipline is more important than intelligence. You don't need to read 50 financial books. You just need to do it consistently, the right way, for long enough. 3. Spend less than you earn. Always true. Every dollar I don't spend is a dollar that could have been invested, that could have made money. 4. Compound interest is the magic of time. Nothing happens in a year, but in 10 years? You won't believe how far you've come. 5. Financial freedom isn't for the lucky. It's for the planner. I know what it feels like to have $100 or less. I know the anxiety, the doubt, the fear of losing money. I used to think I didn't have enough to start, but the truth is, backhand index pointing right, you don't need a lot of money, you need habits. Start with 1. Open a free investment account, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard. 2. Automatically contribute $50, $100 per month to an ETF like VO, SPY, or VT. 3. Read a book every quarter, like The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. 4. Never stop learning, but don't let knowledge kill action. From someone who knew nothing about investing, who was scared every time the market dropped, who thought he wasn't good enough, I had a portfolio of over $15,000 after a few years, just by investing regularly. But more importantly, I had faith. I knew if I kept going, I would reach financial freedom, and I wasn't as scared as before. You're not watching this video by accident. Maybe you're tired of never having enough money, maybe you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you just want to live a more meaningful life, and I'm here to tell you, you can change that. You can start with $100, you can become the version of yourself you've always dreamed of being. If you start today, the final message: financial freedom doesn't come from beating the market. It comes from beating yourself every day.